Ralph, I'm coming to you first because I want to ask about filming in Okinawa for real this time. Was there
Yeah,
anything about the production process and the way things work over there that might have come as a surprise?
it was wonderful. It was a whirlwind. I'm really thankful and proud of the production and Sony for letting us go there for what was only about 2 days of shooting. It was like a long weekend. Most of the time was in the air. We It was blessed, It just felt like I was in the land of Miyagi, and I finally got there, and Yuji was with me. Tamlin did not get to go, so the stuff with Kumiko, we were able to shoot stateside, if you will, and it. We had one gorgeous day of weather and one just miserable day of weather, and we were able to just cherry pick and get what we needed. Some of the, we landed and the wardrobe was on another plane that was transferred. So then we had to match a shirt because it didn't make it there in time. And we only had 2 days, and all that stuff that you hear about on the DVD extras is what I'm giving you. But it was that one beautiful location overlooking the landscape, and the water was just, it felt blessed to be there, and it's just a nice thing to have.
Well worth jumping through all those hoops to make that stuff
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Those scenes are really rich in this season, I think.
What about just reuniting with Yuji and Tamlin? Is there anything about working with them that hasn't changed even after all these years?
It's the same thing I talk about when Billy and I stepped on together. There's just a history, and you share something that's even an unspoken language that there's a connection. And with Tamlin, she just said, both of them did such a beautiful job, brought their A games. With Tamlin, it was like we were these teenagers, it was smiley and it was sweet and it was angelic and all those things that you remember from that film. We couldn't help but be that way. And it lends itself to the story, as that line where it says it's been 30 years, but it feels like 5 minutes. And it felt that way with both of them. And Yuji does such a spectacular turn in his character, and he knows where the comedy is and the action and the drama and the heart, and that all comes through with both of them. So I'm really proud to have that in this season, because it also propels the story, the LaRusso Johnny Lawrence story. It's not just there as a standalone. It's how do you deal with a rival, and how can you get to the other side? So he learned something.
So now, Billy, one of the things that admittedly I was most worried about with season 3 was the ability to maintain the levity that the show had while also respecting the severity of Miguel's injuries. So what was it like trying to find that right balance while you guys were shooting the hospital scenes?
Well, listen, you never play comedy for comedy. The comedy is in the blind obsession, kind of it's not meant to be comedy, really, but there's drama. It's funny the way the writers wrote Johnny rehabbing Miguel and trying to get him back on his feet. Just that alone is funny. There's a definite levity to the seriousness of the injury and what he has to go through the rehab. It bounces back and moves forward.
I also really love watching the relationship between Miguel and Johnny grow from season to season. And I also have a thing about asking about the value of having a good scene partner. So I'm also curious about hearing about how your relationship with Xolo has grown from season to season.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so natural with him. He's such a great actor, and working with him is really effortless. He just snapped in and found this character, and even in our auditions, when we did our auditions for him. What happens between Xolo and Billy is awesome, and Johnny and Miguel is in the writing, and I'm amazed always watching it, and I love watching that relationship too, and what they mean to each other, how they need each other, and they're so different, but they have this love, this father-son love between them, and that's awesome. Works both ways. It's awesome to work with Xolo and to watch where that relationship's going.
I had to pinch myself while I was watching it. Seriously, I don't know how you guys exceeded my expectations again, but thank you so much. Congratulations, and stay safe.